When Dorri was little, she wrote a letter to Santa. And if I remember correctly, she wanted 3 things. One was to be her parents' accountant. One was proof that Santa was real, which is very Dorri, to want concrete evidence. And the third one was she wanted everyone to be okay. And that tells you everything about her because 1, she's always trying to make things better for a bigger group of people than just herself. And she knew exactly who she was. And I think she has lived her life trying to fulfill that.
Right. So that's what we're here today to talk about, how much.
I think that is what prompted her to move from the YWCA to the YMCA. She saw a greater platform to create greater impact. She's doing that both through the people that she works closely with. She's changed all of our lives tremendously. And then as a result, the direct service work that these organizations do is reaching hundreds of thousands of individuals across the Chicago area. So her impact is truly, I think, profound.
She's always thinking in a way like a social enterprise. And that is looking at how to get the greatest profits by also doing the greatest good. That is a startup mentality a lot of times because you're always having to make sure that you are being innovative, you're staying on top of the marketplace, you're collaborating, you're getting with the right partners. And so she's always thought like that. Even when we were in college together and she was working in the cafeteria, she was trying to figure out, how can we do really great work in the cafeteria and make sure everybody has a really great experience? So it's just part of her DNA.
Have the opportunity to talk about our overall work.
Dorri started out in the private sector, but always was working on strategic consulting projects, helping other organizations, client organizations in innovating and solving complex problems that their businesses were facing. And I think she took that expertise and that entrepreneurial spirit and has now applied it to the social impact sector, where we are trying to solve some of the world's biggest problems, racial inequities, gender inequities, poverty, homelessness, health disparities. And it takes a real spirit of innovation and curiosity and entrepreneurism to create new solutions to those problems.
Where everyone looks to see what to cut, Dorri will look and see where to add. Where do we add revenue? Where's the possibility? Where's the positive potential? What partnerships could we bring together that would be mutually beneficial, that would increase the top line and increase the size of the pie rather than reduce it by the cost?
But I also think it depends on how big or small our plans are, right?
For the 10 years that Dorri led the YWCA, we grew from a $10 million annual operating budget to over $44 million in annual operating revenue. So pretty significant growth, especially during a time when most nonprofits were experiencing significant challenges and either shrinking or in fact closing. So we were sort of the anomaly, and it was really because of these sort of new approaches to creating social impact.
She's a visionary in the truest sense of the word, where she comes up with a vision and then figures out, how do I go make that happen? I think her optimism is one of her greatest gifts, and she sees what's possible in a world where lots of things feel impossible. And she just approaches everything with joy, and that's contagious. To be around someone who's making things happen and really bringing out the best in people, you want to be a part of that. And I think that's why she's so successful.